off. So let's go to, I'm looking at the community chapter Trello board, and we'll go with Andre. Okay, Andre's card is on COVID safe certification. Please tell us more about that update, Andre.
Okay, thank you. So the latest update is I already read about HACCP.
Uh-huh.
It is a food standard actually, guys. This is not for a room standard. It's for a food standard. So because the one who told me is Pak Mati from Villa Arindra. So I called him yesterday. So Pak Mati, could you please tell me more about the HACCP? And he said that yeah, it's basically about how to maintain our healthy. I mean, when we are doing anything, we have to maintain our health and our surface are things that surround us. So I think it's not really related to our program because it has to do with food. I don't know why he suggested to me. So, but
Okay.
I just I mean, it's a good source then. Okay,
Okay.
and then I already inviting and scheduling for monitoring step one. I will read the schedule for you guys. So the first monitoring will be on Thursday. It will be Villa Arinda, Puri Sabina, and Maharaja. And the
Excellent.
Friday will be Lot 5, Podas, and Har Residence. We have one exception. It is from Villa Bahagia because it is still under renovation. So what I'm going to do during the monitoring is ask them to do all the monitoring, and during this meantime they can ask me whether if they have question or something like that, so I can have maybe another training if they need it. So like that's my update, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Andre. Andre, just as a heads up, on the monitoring schedule, is that on the card or is that on a paper?
On the paper, sir, actually.
On the paper for COVID safe video or for WHO?
uh, the I think I put it on COVID safe certification.
Okay, great. Oh, maybe we can put that back into the. Oh wow, Kitty, what'd you push me for? Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Sorry, Kitty is pushing my butt for some reason. Kitty, why are you doing that? It's bizarre. All right, Andre. Okay, there you go. Could we get the paper attached to this card so that we can also see what the monitoring is from the rest of the chapter? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Andre. Let's go to the next part, which is A.1, 3C, Improve Communication on BV and the owner community in Jogja. Go ahead, Andre.
I already for this subject I already invite two partners, so I will do 3C for today and tomorrow. Is for I think I inviting I'm sorry dalam tilam for today, and tomorrow is for the dalam panembahan.
Okay.
So if I don't have any special meeting for CSE game, so I think I can start to finish this.
All right, sounds good. Cool. Let's continue over to Tendi. Tendi, over to you for Ultimate BV Service. Now, this is essentially now the merger between CSC, Bigger Training, and Digital Check-in. So this is the new lead project that we will roll out to the next set of properties. Okay, Tendi, give us a
Okay. Yeah. So for this, I still on progress to make a presentation for the topic for the CSC. There's already on the slide deck, but I will make a. I still make a what's called the Canva for the bigger feature, and then the digitize the check-in. For this, I will. It might be like continue training like in the first week, and then second week, and then the second week. So every week the staff and then the owner will have like a training from Bukit Vista.
Okay.
I will finish this in this week, so like we can do on the at least in the weekend, and then the next week for the workshop.
Okay, understood. So I'm looking at this list, and what I'm understanding now, Tendi, is that what you have for the next set are you're currently working on Villa Wisca, Pondok Kita, and Dimentan. And does this mean that they are already finished, or does it mean that they are in progress?
It's on progress, sir.
I see. Okay, and what does the end finish look like? The end finish should be a certification label on their listing, correct?
Pardon, your
Okay.
voice.
So the end certification should look like there's some sort of certification label on the actual listing for these properties. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Like Villa Arum.
Okay. And Villa Arum, Rafik already has the certification label or not yet?
Yes, on the listing, sir.
Okay, good. That sounds good. So they're already COVID safe, digitally organized, and bigger compliant. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Okay. Now KDK is vlogging herself too. All right. Funny. Let's go over to Rian. Welcome in. How's your dad, Rian?
Not doing well. That's all soreness in his stomach.
Okay. We all hope here he gets well as soon as possible. Rian.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ting.
Rian, did you want to update today, or did you want to give us an update later?
Oh, did you guys just drew already? Or-
Almost. Next card is your card.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Rian's card now, C2.1. This is bigger training for on-site staff in Region 1. Okay, let's hear it from your side, Rian.
So today's going to be the last day for reaching out the rest of the property, and the rest of the property will be lot 6 and Rumah Pertama. I supposed to have like a meeting with Rumah Pertama at Saturday, but then they cannot make it, so I will just reschedule it for today at 5 p.m. And for the other update, I already done meeting with Jean for Plasma and Bening, and then Magalan and Idaman with Bayu, and Bawayan as well. Tortoise with Made, and then Lot 3 with Swati. So they already have a bigger account. So,
Excellent.
and yeah, in this particular project, I will go to the next 3 phases within this week, because after I finish with the video meeting and everything, I can just go with the 3 phase, which is send the video to the staff, which already done as well,
Okay.
and monitoring sign up process, which is the process. Actually, it's a process of after the video meeting as well, and then in the probably I will done the simulation test for by this week as well. Probably start from tomorrow, because this is the last time that I will have a video meeting session.
Sounds good, Rian. All right. Rian, how do we do the monitoring exactly at this point to make sure that they're using bigger?
Actually, it's from simulation test. So I will like run a simulation test right after every single property has have a sign up already. But as I said in the frictions earlier, like there's like some properties that are reluctant to sign up for bigger unless the situation is back to normal, because they were paying unless unpaid leave overall. So
Understood.
yeah, I think simulation test is going to be the benchmark on how they use the bigger. And
Okay, understood. Here, Rian, for any companies where staff are on unpaid leave and the timing is not correct, let's just remove those from the checklist so that we don't need to
Okay.
take those anymore. All right, thank you very much for the reading. Let's go over to Rafik.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, Rafik first, and then back to Rian.
Yes, this is advice for Rian. Maybe you can check with Bayu if we can see the last use by the user. Like, yeah. So if we know it, this person is active to use bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, I already have. Okay, I will answer that. So actually, I already have the access. So content team already give me an access to the approval and everything, so I can check the user as well. I can check the user and last. I think we can check it from the last login, so the last activity. So yeah,
Okay,
that
that
could
sounds
be
good.
the check as well.
Thank you very much for that idea, Rafik.
Thank you, Rafik.
Okay, I think that's done then. So we're finished with the board, and let's see. I'll need to call a meeting right now.
No, sir. Your part is not yet the community.
What? Oh, my part. Yeah, sorry. Oh, how did I forget that? Oh, yeah, that's on my list.
The town hall.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what we have on my part. My list, RMW.0. This is the Bukit Vista Community Town Hall. This is initiated by Lilith, but it's on my stack right now. So at this point, we are going to send a follow-up, as we promised, today to the participants of the web, to the entire community, actually. So we're going to send a follow-up message to all the people who are in the entire Bukit Vista community. I will need to speak with actually maybe everyone here about the format of that. So I'd like to go into a discussion with that. Rafik, are you secretary today?
Tendi secretary, sir.
Tendi secretary. Okay, Tendi. can we write that down as the next follow-up meeting? So at 1:20, we'll just have a general meeting about the format of how we're going to do the follow-up, and then later after that, we will have Teddy and I will work on actually the distribution of this initiative. Okay. Otherwise, I would say that this was a success, mostly because it was the first time we did it, and we got good participation. There was, I think, about 30 people who showed up. I think we also should do one for all the non-Indonesian owners too, as well, at some point in May, so that we keep a good relationship with, let's say, some of the villa owners who are not here. That one might need to be a little bit different from the normal office hour time, because I understand that in our office hour time, 5 to 6, most people are outside of normal office hours. So like 8 o'clock in Australia, and some crazy time in the US. So anyhow, I think it's a good step. I think it was very successful. We had a lot of direction, and I think we all felt very good about the results. So that is good. Okay, the next step, I think, is essentially for me to create the next iteration of this. And I think now this has been introduced by Lilith, but now I believe this can be part of a regular community initiative that we have twice a month or once a month or whatever to create a webinar cast. And I think this is good. This is essentially a way to do like all hands for our community. Okay, so right now, Mr. Secretary to Tendi, could we write up that meeting for 1:20? I'd like to invite everybody within this chapter to participate. Next, I think that's it. So let me go ahead and set up the chair for the next time. The next chair will be Tendi, and the next secretary will be Andre. I've already selected that on the chapter paper meeting times card. I'm going to motion to change this. I'll call this chapter meeting management. Meeting management, because I think that kind of is a little bit more clear. So if you look on that card now on general, the card now has been renamed from whatever the name was before to chapter meeting management. That will be the name of the new card. Okay, that's pretty much it. The next thing I'd like to discuss is about the follow-up to the event. So I will stop presenting from Trello, and what I'll do is I will go now to the paper where we have our weekly discussions. I'd like to also change the name of the weekly discussion to a discussion management. I think the idea of a weekly discussion is good, but it should not be limited to we only make a discussion once a week. It should be where when we need to discuss something, we discuss something. So currently, whoops, this is not set up right. Currently, what's going on? Oh no.
There's DM there.
Let's go to Andre. Andre, could you repeat?
No, I also opened that paper and confused why there's a DM paper.
Yeah, wrong. Yeah, wrong, basically. So that's probably because of me doing some copy and pasting, and we shouldn't have that. We should have this. So let me find the correct one by going to the all hands. And then what I'll do is I'll go over here, and then I'll change that, Andre, to the correct one. Thank you for that guidance. And now that should open. That should open correctly. The weekly one is HAR, which is wrong as well. So that's some seriously bad copy paste. Let me go ahead and put that there. Okay. So that one goes here. Okay. And we're not going to call it a weekly initiative anymore. Let's call it discussion management, because that's essentially what it is. It's managing our discussions. Keeping a track record of all our discussions and what we want to do after these discussions have been had. And then for the top one, I will put the daily, let's see, where is it? The roadmap. God damn it, wrong one. Sorry. Oh no. Give me a second. Yes. The community roadmap. Let me put it up here. And this one we'll put as community roadmap, which is okay. All right. Let just showing this a little bit of administration so that everyone's on the same page. Nobody will be like, what changed? Why is it not the same thing anymore? So we will call it discussion management from now on. I'll close this confusing stuff over here. Okay, so weekly CM initiative meeting now is a discussion management meeting. Okay, and then this is where we begin our discussion. So let's start here. What type of materials how should we communicate with our community after a webinar? So we need to make some decisions, remember, right? We have an audience, and we need to select which audience. Timing, we need to understand better about the timing. Messaging and the problem, and then the channel, okay? So let's go to Rafik first. Rafik, what should that audience be?
Sorry, sir?
What should be the audience that we communicate with after a community webinar? What's the scope of that audience?
The audience must be partner, right?
All partners, right?
All partners.
Okay, all partners.
And also the participant who's doing the webinar, right?
Ah, yes, and the participants from the outside.
Outsider.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay, does anybody have any objection to this idea? So can we agree that for the audience, we have essentially all partners and the participants from the outside. All good? Yeah? Okay, let's go to the next one. Timing. Let's go to Tendi. Tendi, when's the best timing?
For the webinar, it's
For the follow-up.
For the follow-up, maximum 2 days after the webinar.
Okay, maximum 2 days after. Okay. I would say ideally attendee, it should be immediately, right? Right after the webinar, if we can follow up, that would be the best. Because remember, when people are thinking about you, it's much easier for them to continue thinking about you. But if people think about the webinar and then they go about their weekend and then they do other things and then now you come back to them, it's sort of like, okay, Bukit Vista is, oh God, okay. So there's a little bit of fatigue that happens. So we want to make it as brisk as possible, as easy as possible. So ideally, the follow-up material should be ready at the beginning of the webinar. So we have already all of the format set up. And then as soon as the webinar is finished, we upload it to YouTube, we share the link, and it's ready to go. So within, let's say, 10 minutes of the webinar finishing, everyone gets a follow-up afterwards. Let's go to Rafik. What do you think about that idea? Is it better to do it faster or slower?
I put two questions. First, how do we summary that? Because if we send a message to or the result to the webinar audience, must be the summary of the webinar, right?
Yes. Great discussion. How do we summarize the webinar?
Yeah, that's if we upload like Danny do it make a Canva to PDF. I think it takes time, sir. So I'm agree with immediately, but I think it's not more than same like Danny. Not more than 2 days will be okay because they also know we need to prepare the summary on that. We continue to the third thing like messaging. That is the how we message them, how we communicate with them. So this is the summary or blah blah. I'm sorry for this late because we need to summary blah 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 like that.
Okay, great question, Rafa. Yeah. We should always have a secretary at all our meetings, right? So
yes, sir.
I think the secretary should be summarizing live. So as the meeting is progressing, the secretary is creating all the highlights, right? And this then immediately can go into the YouTube video and be published right away. So I think this could be the iteration for next time. Next time when we have a webinar, we assign somebody to be the secretary. The secretary, which was Tendi, I think in this particular case, should also be summarizing the main points in the meeting, which we know already, right? Because we made the main points in the meeting. But also mostly for the reactions, right? I think this can be a format. I think this can be essentially a framework So we don't need to do too much work. We can just say, all right, the first part is essentially the presentation slides, the webinar video, and then a description of the feeling of being there, right? And that can be, once again, the highlights, the suspense, and maybe it can be difficult questions that we couldn't answer, or it could be all these things, highlight, suspense, and sort of like the dramatic moments, right? Let's just call it that. And then that's it, right? So we have the framework already. We just need to populate it with the material, and then it's essentially done. So we don't need to write it from scratch. Okay, next is to messaging and timing, which is kind of there already, right, in this discussion. So the messaging and messaging in the problem. I'm thinking of adding the messaging as slides, webinar video, and the description of what's there. Is there any other messaging or things that should be in the follow-up? Let's go to Rafik. Andre? Or let's Rafik first.
Okay. So the messaging regarding the follow-up, the webinar result, right? Yeah. I think it's just send up via email. That is the first one because they sign up with email, right? They sign up with email. That is for the outsider.
Mm-hmm.
That is the outsider. But for the partners, we agree. All the partner we will give all the result for webinar, right? I think we can do it the broadcast list on WhatsApp message.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Maybe we make a general broadcast list on WhatsApp and we put everybody in there so that when we want to message all the owners, we don't have to do it like all at one time, right? And we can make a WhatsApp broadcast. That might be very effective. Andre, really quick, you had a question.
Oh no, I'm just saying that the message that we have to deliver is also about the FAQ, sir, because we have lots of question there, and we also answering that. So it might be more summarize something that, let's say you are talking about this topic, and someone are asking about your topic. It would be, and you will get re-answer that. So that would be another summary.
Okay, sounds good. That's very positive. All right, so FAQ summary is there, and then the answers to all answers to the highlighted questions. Okay, great. Next, okay, this is the interesting part. Tendi, what is the channel that we should use to broadcast this message? Where should we put this information?
On our web, sir.
Okay.
And then broadcast by WhatsApp.
Okay. And yeah, I would tend to agree. The best part about putting it on a blog post, gentlemen, is that it lives forever, and now it can be discovered by other people. And when you get a lot of traffic to it, that's pretty good. That's a good ranking signal to Google as well. This is an important piece of content. So yes, I think if we put it on a blog, then it will live forever. If you put it on an email, it will live only in somebody's email box. So blog post is more permanent, and I think it can be more cumulative. It can drive up more people to actually attend these webinars in the future. All right, great. That's pretty much it then. That's it for this discussion. I just wanted to get everybody's opinion so that, yes, Rafik.
We already discussed about how we follow up, right?
Yeah.
And then the next is the action. Who will follow up?
Yes. All right. The next is the action, and who will follow up will be Tendi and me. So, Tendi, just quickly, do you know how to create a blog post?
For make the blog in the web or make just the blog?
On Strikingly.
No.
Okay. All right. So I'll need to do that with Tendi this time, right? But in the future, I think whoever is the secretary can essentially start doing this. It is not really a hard job, I think. It is essentially just collecting all the questions, writing down all the answers during the event as well, so that the answers are written down. Right now, for example, we'll need to go back and watch, right, to write down all the answers. So if we had done that during the webinar, then we could save some time. So what I'll do with Tendi this time is to sort of show Tendi how to secretary a meeting effectively. So the secretary will essentially be the person who does the follow-up. And that's a new role, right? That's a new training role. So afterwards, whoever is the next secretary will essentially just do the same thing. Okay, that part is clear. Whenever we have a webinar, there'll be the secretary. The secretary's job is to harvest all the questions from the audience and then to create the follow-up right afterwards by harvesting the video, the slides, putting it on a blog post, putting the answers to all the questions, and then publishing it. And then who will announce it to everybody? Actually, that's another question. Let's go around to Rafik. Rafik, once the secretary is done with the content and it's ready for distribution, who will help announce it?
Announce to who?
Well, your two audiences, sir. So we'll need one
The
person.
first one, we need to create which regions. Because the first one, we need to deliver it to all the owner, right?
Yes.
It's not the owner participant, but all the owners.
Yes.
Right. Even though they join or not.
Yes.
So we said, me already make a broadcast list for Canggu area.
Okay.
So I can deliver it via WhatsApp.
Okay, great.
And maybe Rian on the squad 1, Andre squad 3.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty good idea then. Who's doing squad?
And then for the outsider, because we need to send via email.
Okay.
I suggest Lilis because Lilis have the list.
Okay, very good.
Right.
Let's do that. All right, so who's going to distribute? Let's write that down. Who will distribute the messages? What about squad?
Sure.
Yes, to whoever, Denny.
Yeah. Maybe I have just idea. How about like a 1 day or at least 5 hour or 3 hour before the webinar? We create a WhatsApp group, so we can just put on the WhatsApp group the link of the blogspot. And then for the next webinar, we can just send the information there as well. If there's anyone like a register or like something, we can just add on that WhatsApp group. So it's like a community for the WhatsApp.
I think so. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Just one times, right?
So you add people into a WhatsApp broadcast group whenever they sign up, yeah?
Yeah.
Great. I think that can be part of owner onboarding, in fact, right? So whenever an owner is onboarded,
So every question also you can they just put on the WhatsApp. Maybe we can just record it or something.
Okay. Well, Tanya, I want you to think about that a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Because this will have long-term impact. So what is the best way to reach all the owners in a channel where they will receive a message that's urgent and a way that they will receive a message that's not urgent? WhatsApp could be the best way, but think about also if that's interactive. I believe a WhatsApp group is not interactive, right? You can broadcast out, but they cannot send back in. So that can also limit the dialogue. But it's okay, I think, for certain messages and for certain things like notification of a webinar coming up, maybe day -1 and such and such. That could be useful. Okay, good idea. Good idea. That could be an efficiency there, Tendi, that we build. Back to Rafik. Okay, Rafik, can you get everyone in Squad 2 assembled into these distribution groups? Rian will get everyone in Region 1. Sorry, we're not talking regions anymore. We're not talking squads anymore, we're talking region. So Region 3. What about Region 4? Cynthia, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's not helping me to blast this message, sir.
Okay, so WhatsApp, we'll use WhatsApp distribution. What is it called, Andre? Is it called a broadcast? WhatsApp broadcast?
Yeah, broadcaster.
Okay.
Anyway, Lilith are using Air Support Tree to invite all of the partners. So we chat it one by one. I think if Andy or someone wants to chat them one by one and don't want to move to another number, you can use Air Support Tree, or you can tell me to do it.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much. Can we assign this to the current stack? So Rafik will get Region 2, Rian will work on Region 1, Andre Region 3, Cynthia will work on Region 4. Andre, could you have a talk with Cynthia to let her know about this new initiative, yeah?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'll sit with Tendi right now to finish the logistics of how to craft that message, and I'll show Tendi how to create a blog post, okay? And I'll start a new recording so that in the future, if you guys want to learn how to do this, you can just watch the recording, yeah? and that will be clear. Okay, that's pretty much it. So all good today.
So we need to waiting from you and Danny to regarding the material, right?
Yes, I think that material can be done by. I think it won't take more than an hour. Yeah, so I'll try to get it done by 2. I'll get my part done by 2, and then Tendi I think can follow up with the questions and answers, and then hopefully by 3 o'clock I think this should be done, Tendi, and then we can start distributing. Okay.
Okay, just message us on community, and then
Yes, sir.
I will make the broadcast list first.
Okay, sounds good. And then we'll send it out by, let's say the target is 3 o'clock today. It should start going out. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Andre.
Last thing, then if you want to make blog, I think you can have a sub discussion with Rizal. As Rizal, I think want to make some article, and I said that maybe you have to different what is blog and what is a website for us. So we have blog to communicate or to talk about that with Rizal. So maybe to make a comment, say try to communicate with Rizal. I think he was making on it on do something on it. Just
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for that input, Andre. We will consult with Rizal. But for the interest of time on this particular rollout, Andre, I think we'll just try to do it on the Bukit Vista website. In the future, I think we can put it on Medium, or we can put it on some other platform too as well. The website is the most easy because there's no membership, there's no reading limitations, there's no whatever that might happen if we use a different platform. Okay, gentlemen, thank you guys very much for coming in for this discussion. We're ready to rock at 3. I will stop this recording now, and I will start a new recording.